Team, what is going on? It's freaking Thursday. George will be happy because apparently England won the football and I made some money on my bets, which is pretty cool. So it's about time I started making some money. Okay, it's Thursday, which means it is the AMA. I was really struggling to find this AMA. I was like, what is going on? Like, seriously, with this AMA? Where is it? It's not on the website. It's nowhere. And it's on freaking Reddit. So, yeah. So we found it. We've literally found it. Now, I'm trying to log in, but I can't remember my Reddit login. So hopefully we'll be able to see the replies. Without having to log in. Let me just try it. I'll just try it, see if it'll work. Fingers crossed. Username must be between 3 and 20 characters. Okay. Looks like I don't even know my freaking username either for Reddit. Like, who uses Reddit? What is this? Like, it's the 21st century. And okay, so my username is ustockpair2665. I would never have got that, team. Ustockpair. What? What's it? What sort of a username is that? Jordy Manahuto, what sort of a username is this? You stock underscore underscore 2665. It's got a tick, so that's right. Right. Incorrect password. Incorrect password. Ah, screw it. Okay. What is this? Seriously, right, okay. So, this is the Reddit AMA. So, here it says, today, Art Brockenau, co-founder, and David Atkinson, commercial director, will be answering your questions about our project. You may be curious about Holochain. Yes, we are. And about Holo, and about Holofuel, and about the apps being built on top of Holochain or something else. I need to focus, team. We will start answering your questions at 8 p.m. London time. Sweet! Which is now. And now you can submit anything you would like to know below this post. So it's got a YouTube channel, which is, of course, the Johnny Stang Show. Let's freaking go. But at the minute, there doesn't seem to be any replies. So we are sat like ducks in water at the moment. So the questions. The questions are: how would you describe Holochain in 7 words? Hi. How far are we from beta release? That is a cool question. What apps being built on Holochain are you most excited about? When can we download the Holochain installation for our own hardware? When you guys start to promote HOT? Well, when will you guys start to promote HOT? I think they already are, aren't they? Now it's only the lucky few that got Holoport that can earn Holofuel. When will we be able to download software for computer? A chat app was mentioned in the info. Is there a possibility for something like decentralized WhatsApp? Yes. Oh, there it is. Yes, definitely. Right now, the app Elemental Chat is running purely peer-to-peer on Holoport. Okay, so we got one question answered 9 minutes ago, which was from Potato to Trader. I'm not sure if that was from Holo themselves, which will be interesting. Okay, will we see the do you want to allow cookie screen on the HoloWeb, or will it be finally relieved from that? Let's say if something like Netflix would use Holochain, would that fix their issue with people sharing their accounts? Interesting. What do you think sets Holochain apart from other peer-to-peer app platforms such as Ethereum, Harmony, and Cardano? Are there any unique qualities of Holo that you find most interesting and important? Why don't people know the answer to these questions? What types of incentives do you offer to bring HABs to Holochain? Any incentives planned for users? Yes. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Fine. I'll look forward to the response on that one. Apps and sites built on Holochain will be less vulnerable to cyber attacks. Are they, however, less significant from still vulnerable? How does this compute to centralized apps and sites? Interesting question. When the swap from hot to holo fuel happens, would there be any reason left to still hold the ERC20 token? Yes. I'm answering these as we go along. One of the lucky few to get on the flash sale of Holoports. Excited for it to arrive. I am wondering if there are any plans to create a crypto exchange within the Holochain network. Why would they do that? That'll be interesting. How will this Holoport Nano contributor here? Yes, potato to trader just answered one of the questions. How will this global material shortage impact the development of holoports? How are you dealing with chip shortage? Also, I probably watched all YouTube videos about Holochain and miss Matthew Shut in the latest videos. Is he still on board? He should do an auto book about this topic. I really enjoy listening to him. Somebody has a crush on Matthew. Exactly, Nova. Orion Protocol. It was in my head, but I forgot the name. How long have you camped on the roadmap? Okay. The exchange holodex is that where we shift hot tokens to holofuels? All right. Crypto bum guy, when moon. I've seen it, bro. Can you describe how much are we close for beta? Can Holochain replace blockchain in the future? 100% yes. I mean, do you see blockchain as a competitor, or your goal is to coexist together? Nodes will take over the universe. In new crypto, I'm so sorry for this question is dumb or something like that. Thanks for AMA and good luck with your project. This is really good fun. I'm really enjoying this. When Holo is going to get back to marketing? They've never done marketing, so they can't go back. But anyway, so those are the questions that is ongoing at this moment in time. I'm going to refresh the screen and just see if there is any questions that's been answered by Holo or at this moment in time. There's 53 questions. Woo! Here we go. We got some questions that have been answered. There's the legend that is Art Brock, and he has replied. Holochain is an open source framework for developing microservers that run peer-to-peer applications entirely on end-to-end devices without central servers. Distributed data integrity engine for peer-to-peer apps. Okay. Beta release for Holo and Holochain are different. Holochain, nearing full featured alpha, security hardening and audit will need to be completed before we call something beta. We have already retained the audit firm in readiness. I'm shooting for release ready to be called beta in the next few months, team. Oh my god! The next few months, which makes it October. Up to October, team. Beta is coming before Christmas. God damn. In early alpha release of hosted apps on Holoport need security hardened audited Holochain plus hardened Holofuel hosting currency, hosting infrastructure and reserve accounts. Targeting beta before the end of 2021. This is amazing. Now, I'm watching HOT and there's still no pump. So, it's not heavily advertised, is this? Right. Nova, you've got to freaking get on Twitter now and you've got to start posting like crazy. Get that #1 spot on Lunar Crush because I'm coming up behind you, bro. This is ace. Okay. Right, we're still waiting for some more questions. Do I need to Nova screenshot? Don't worry, it'll get screenshot. Don't you worry. Right, refreshing screen again to see if there's some more answers that's come up on screen. Nova, you legend for shouting this. This is great. Okay, so we're still waiting for some answers, but oh my gosh, like that is pretty cool, those first ones, that we kind of have an idea as to when beta is happening, and it looks like it's within the next few months. Okay, where does that take us in terms of, whilst we're waiting for the questions, right, to be answered, let's just figure this out, because what did I say about the bull market? The bull market could potentially take us to the 6th of October. I love the fact the relative strength index just goes nicely over the top of my head right now. Okay, so I've said that the bull run will nicely take us into the 6th of October. So if we get a beta release, this is going to be the best time. Holochain or Holo look like they are timing this perfectly so that all of the marketing, all of the rad work, all of the craziness, that we will get so much because we are the early adopters. So when we do get that takeoff to the upside, I think Holo are going to heavily market HOT. They're going to market Holochain. Things are going to be crazy. So this is what they promised. I cannot find that little bit of information I've been looking at that actually says if Holo participates in the bull market, they promise to get HOT to $1. So could HOT be over exaggerated? Could it be massively over exaggerated in this bull market, so it could turn out to be bigger than we could ever possibly imagine? I'm still extremely bullish for 20 cent, but now that the reckoning that beta is going to come out in the next few months, this literally freaking changes the game. Okay, so when beta happens, we know that we have a 6-month period of a 1-to-1 swap from HOT to Holofuel. So it looks like our plan is working out perfectly in the fact that you can still trade your HOT and you still know that you've got 6 months to swap it across back to Holofuel. So you could trade HOT, get as much profit as you possibly can. And if the bear market was to hit in October and beta came in October, obviously the price will reduce in terms of HOT. So you can sell your HOT, buy back in at a lower price just before your swap across to Windy Pops, across to Holofuel. Team, this is mega freaking exciting news. So Yeah, that's just what I was explaining, George. I know that your pants are full right now, but yeah, I'm just freaking explaining. His brain's just going, I can't compute. George is going crazy. He's literally like George of the Jungle right now. George of the Jungle. Watch out for that tree. Yay. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the AMA again and see if any more questions have been answered, and then we're going to go through the charts because there's a lot that needs discussing. Okay, still no questions have been answered in this moment in time. So we will carry on chatting about... check the Netflix question. No, nothing there from Arthbrock, from Disco Dip at this moment in time. Nothing is there. Still waiting. Okay, so I've done a bit of work with Bitcoin because I know that there's a lot of confusion going on in terms of the Wyckoff pattern. So I felt like it was time to make things a little bit easier. So here we go with the easiness. The Johnny Stang Wyckoff. So we started off with the accumulation Wyckoff with this selling climax, which was this huge wick down that took us right down to that 29,996 or whatever it was. And then it bounced back and came back for a retest, which is your test 1, test 2, which was higher, of course, and then test 3. We then sprung up exactly what the Wyckoff was expecting to do, and then came back for the spring. Now, that takes us from phase A into phase C. We then had another retest, which worked absolutely perfectly. And then we was coming up and back down for the last kiss. But that last kiss actually failed, which begs a lot of questions as to what is going on in the crypto market right now. This area now is massively under scrutiny from all the experts. Like, where is this going to go? It's not something that anybody's seen before. Could this be institutional manipulation trying to force the price down? Now, Wyckoff or no Wyckoff? I started looking at the technical analysis and I came over a few things. The first one being, technically, the Wyckoff pattern is in a descending channel. So if you look at the two, can we call them orange lines? I took an average and based it, are we following a descending channel? And yes, we technically are following a descending channel because we are coming down, testing the bottom, testing the top, testing the bottom, breaking out, but then coming back and retesting the bottom again. We've got a couple of failures, which is probably why it is still following this descending channel. Now, the thing about a descending channel is it is extremely bullish because once you get coming down from this channel, there is always a breakout. There is nothing stopping a descending channel turning into another descending channel, but you'll get another breakout. It's just how descending channels work. So that was my first bullish signal, which made me feel quite chilled out. Secondly, one thing that I saw, no, this is messy. I'm trying to get my head around it to try and make it as simple as I possibly can, but I just can't. The second thing we've got here is this triangle, which is there. So there's the triangle here. So we do now have a symmetrical triangle that has come in from the bottom up, which again is bullish. But the caveat being there is, unfortunately, at 1 o'clock this morning, we had that breakdown. So we lost that triangle, which then comes back to this descending support, which it did actually bounce off. It then, comes into another triangle, which coincides with the descending channel. So when I tell people that technical analysis right now is so hard to do because of the manipulation, it's like having a game of ping pong, but there's a small marble inside the ping pong ball. You predict where it's going to go, but then all of a sudden the weight shifts literally in the matter of minutes. So your ideas of where you think it's going to go next just completely fails. So as a technical analyst, this is a living freaking nightmare for us. Okay. One thing that I did notice as well was, which actually did scare the living daylights out of me, but it's recovered. If you look at the stochastic RSI, round about 4 o'clock, we had this rise to the upside, and then the stochastic seemed to stay quite high. And I was like, wow, this is a little bit worrying, because the stochastic, even though the relative strength index was in the center, the stochastic was extremely high with Bitcoin. In terms of hot, it was doing exactly the same thing. So I was extremely frightened at the fact that we are going to see this downward spiral. Now, just in the past 45 minutes, something has happened. The fact that the stochastic has gone right down to 23 on the 15-minute, which could mean that we could see a rise with the relative strength index being at 46 to go back up and retest that 0.005851 resistance. We've already tested it once, twice. We will go back for a third time, which will hopefully break out of it. But right now, the bears are climbing down the stairs, which again is weird. It's just abnormal behavior. We've absolutely nailed these support lines. First one being here, and then it bounced and touched that 59, lost support, so it had to come back to the next one. So we're currently sat here waiting for a rise back, which looks great on the stochastic. It's just about to cross over, which could mean in the short term that we're going to see a rise up. Fingers crossed. If not, we're going to sit sideways again. I really hope that is not the case for you lot, because we deserve now to just be disappearing up. There's no reason for us to sit sideways like what we're doing. It's almost like we should just go, do you know what? Let's just chill for a few days, take a few days off, not look at the charts, because we're just getting this crazy sideways action. Jordy, yes, Van Aleswa is looking to try and do a Dutch translation. He's right in what he's saying. It's the time. It is very, very difficult for Van Aleswa, family man. Recently just got married, has children. It is what it is. It is what it is. I have a lot more time because I live on my own. My children don't live with me, and I can just come home from work, eat some food, do my research, do my homework, crack on with some work, and it's a lot easier for me as opposed to Van Aleswa. But yeah, I'm sure soon that Van Aleswa will do some Dutch translations for us, which is going to be absolutely awesome. If you've not subscribed to his channel, please subscribe to his channel. He does talk Dutch in there, whereas I'm like, can I have an English translation? So I know how frustrating it can be, Jordy, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I can't speak any Dutch whatsoever. I do apologize about that. I don't even think I'll ever be able to learn it. I've tried to have a look at some words and it's just like, wow, this is so freaking complicated. Okay. Okay, we've got some more answers. Going back to the screen. So, what app's being built on Holochain are you most excited about? And we've got a reply here saying, right now, very excited about Junto's progress, Kizuna progress, Red Grid progress. Also, there is a game coming to Holo host soon, and I'm dying to play. Holoria opens up a huge amount of possibilities, and once we move beyond beta, we are going to enter a world of incredibly cool things we have never thought of. Well, Art and Eric may have already imagined them. There are a few which I think are completely game-changing and uniquely fit for Holochain that blockchains and most other approaches to decentralization can't really touch. Double entry accounting as the only approach to accounting that most people know about. But there's another called REA accounting, Resource Event Agent, which is built for cross-organizational or support chain accounting. Since we already recommend implementing cryptocurrencies on Holochain as peer-to-peer accounting, implementing REA as a Holochain app not only allows flexible support chain accounting, but if you allow people to borrow against their future productivity, enables any normal business unit of account, like case of whiskey, bushels of apples, etc., to function as a secure, immutable, auditable cryptocurrency. No need to go through intermediaries, speculative currencies like dollars or Bitcoin, but currencies rooted in real-world business units, which can sail through regulatory restrictions since there's no security tokens being created, just accounting, which is legal everywhere. Oh my god. Personal login app on your phone where you can scan QR codes or bump NFC chips and pop up an HTML style form. When you submit it, you save to your own records as well as send whatever trigger the form was set up to call. For example, unlocking a door as your entry to a building is logged. You can interact with a loose network of these kinds of triggered apps without all of your data being subject to central surveillance. This is deep. Oh my gosh. My brain is literally exploding right now. I'm trying to stay calm, but I just can't wait to get freaking excited. Okay, when can we download the Holochain installation for our own hardware? Quick start to installing Holochain. Holochain is already ready for that. There is an early release that we haven't publicly announced yet for easy and user installation, which also installs apps and UIs. If you're asking about Holo hosting, we're also ready-made the Holoport operating system, which you could experiment with on your own hardware. But we're not offering end user support for it yet. This is what I'm trying to download and I'm like, what is this? What are these words? This is just incredible, right? Isn't this what we've been waiting for months? For years, to be fair. Okay, we're still waiting for the rest. I mean, how long is this going to go on for? The questions have just suddenly got extreme. When moon. Okay, so in summary then, I'm really excited about the game. Is that Elemental Chess by any chance? I think it is Elemental Chess, if I'm quite honest, from that last discussion, the AMA 46 or 45 that it was. They were talking about a game, and I think it's got to be Elemental Chess. It has to be. Okay. DJ, it is on Reddit. If you type in AltStreetBets Reddit, it will take you straight to that website if you search for that in Google. That's how I found it. So here it is. So you can bring it up on your phone if you wish. It's these people here, AltStreetBets. YK is so impatient. Johnny, can we go back to the AMA? Johnny, when 1 cent ultimate date? Can't give you a date. Well, the market's been heavily manipulated, buddy, so there is no date. It is just going to happen when it happens. But we are on a mission to 1 cent because we're bullish. But there is no ultimate date, unfortunately. But to start, what is your Reddit username? You ready for this? My Reddit username is u/stock_pair_2665. I honestly don't even know why that is my username, but anyway. I don't use Reddit. This is the thing. I set it up because there's a lot of stuff on the internet that forces you to go onto Reddit, and it just kept saying download the app, and I was like, screw it, I'm just downloading the app. TJ, legend. And over, this is so bullish. It better be Minesweeper. Bring back the internet's first. Even Solitaire. Could you? Oh, Minesweeper was so good. I used to love that. And then Solitaire, where all the cards just start bouncing down. Okay, refreshing the screen. Hopefully there'll be some more questions answered. I think it's just going to be a case of just waiting. 97 comments? What? Be reading through these for the next 84 years. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, question is, can Holochain replace blockchain in the future? I mean, do you see blockchain as a competitor, or your goal is to coexist? I'm new in crypto, so I'm sorry for the dumb question. Holochain and blockchain can certainly coexist, and some people will be slow, if ever, to release some of their centralized notions that make blockchain look attractive, like managing a single global state. However, I have yet to see a problem that blockchain can solve that Holochain cannot also solve many times more efficiently. You have to... Honestly, like, we are the start of the future, and it's so exciting. You have to structure the solution differently. But how long will people want to burn their electricity or pay gas fees for non-scaling solutions when you can run it on Holochain for free and just pay hosting fees to reach mainstream web users, which you can't even reach through blockchain apps because they have to pay gas fees and don't have wallets or crypto? Team, I'm biased, but I think everything will eventually move from blockchain to Holochain-like systems, maybe clones or forks competing with us. Literally, I just want to scream, but I don't want the neighbors to think I'm getting murdered. Okay, when will you guys start to promote HOT? Now it's only the lucky few that got Holoports that can end Holofuel. When will we be able to download software for a computer? I'm not sure we'll ever promote HOT as some sort of investment. I think the hype cycles which lead to the pump and dumps do more harm than good for building a serious community of users, which is actually safe for people to use. We will certainly promote it for paying Holo hosting fees. Interesting. What is the project that makes use of Holochain that you are most looking forward to? Above, Junto, Redgrid, Kazuna, etc. What a chat app was mentioned in the info. Is there a possibility for something like decentralized WhatsApp? Yes, definitely right now. Elemental Chat, which is powered by Holo Hosts, our distributed peer hosting network. There is also Kazuna. Check out an AMA, which I did with them on Monday. Still nothing from Disco Dep. Still waiting on that one. What do you think sets Holochain apart from other peer-to-peer DApp platforms such as Ethereum, Harmony, and Cardano? Are there any unique qualities of Holo that you find most interesting and important? What types of incentives do you offer to bring dApps to Holochain? Any incentives plans for users? Josh took a look at the differences here. Cardano Holochain perspective. We've gone through that. Got a bit of backlash. Holochain unique characteristics. You can build Holo and Holo fuel on top of it. No single network. Okay, still waiting for some more, but this is freaking amazing. This is absolutely amazing, team. TJ, I was feeling a bit low with my crypto choices. Should have just come on here feeling much better. Yeah, that makes me feel better that you are better. Teamwork makes the dream work. Just having a refresh. I know you're all eager for some more answers. We're now up to 100 comments. Okay, it's quite a long answer that's come up, which was back here. What is a project that makes use of Holochain that you are most looking forward to? It says today's update. It's a bit longer than usual, so there is so much that has been moving and shaking with Holo and Holochain this past week. I'll share briefly about a few items, and hopefully soon you'll have videos and dev pulses that will go into all the detail about the new work. On the Holo hosting side of things, the context is set by the recently announced Holoport alpha program. As you probably read in the announcement, this program became a necessity for us to continue moving down the path to wider alpha releases. Here's what we've been working on. Networks. We've formalized our networks with end-to-end infrastructure, and we've automated the process for deployment to these networks. What this means is that we now have a DevNet, a FlexNet, and an AlphaNet. The upcoming pre-release tests of hosted Elemental Chat will be running on the FlexNet. Pre-release test preps, 150 plus Holoports signed up for the tests, and we're preparing to move them to FlexNet, where they will have the latest Holo hosting software installed along with Elemental Chat. The team will then send the invitations to web users to join the test. Remember, in this test, regular web users are testing a Holochain app on Holo. It's not just the hosts. We expect to invite 100 to 200 people to this test in small batches over the coming week or so. We took a little extra time preparing for this test because we are aligning the process to be as close as possible to the ones we'll use during the Holoport Alpha program. Holoport Alpha program. This program requires that we operationalize the registration, communication, automatic selection and movement of holopots across our new network, as well as reporting back to participants and the general public about the activity of ports running on the network. This is a lot of work to be delivered. We've just about finished the registration app and we're building out the tool that our team will use to support participants this week. We've also completed all the scripts necessary to pull network data for Holoport verifications and uptime reporting. Holochain. Progress continues on DHT sharding and many changes were made after the intense testing by the Holo team using SQLite. We continue to run tests of Elemental Chat on new versions of Holochain to provide feedback, but the Holo team is moving forward with a version of Holochain that is a little more stable while these changes continue to evolve. We have not yet received the upstream needed fix from the Wasmir team, but we do have a workaround that is implemented in the recent point release that we completed for Holochain. Holochain Launcher. Finally, we have made significant progress on the new tool. The Holochain Launcher. This tool is for end users of Holochain apps, and it allows them to install a app DNA and UI bundle, and then to launch the app in a browser. It's currently working on Linux, and we're enabling it to work for Mac and Windows as well. The tool is a bit like Holoscape, which was used with an earlier Holochain version. The new tool is lighter and will be easier to extend. It's not real pretty yet, but it's functionally complete for launching and running Holochain apps with a single DNA and UI. And there's more. As of this week, we've successfully tested the first community-built app as hosted application on Holo. Stay tuned. This is incredible. Honestly, I didn't think, right? I'm going to eat my words here. I didn't think that this would be as good as what it is. So, you know, sometimes we get it wrong. 105 comments now. Done that one, done that one, done that one. What did I do? I broke Disco Dip's question. Right. When the swap from hot to holo fuel happens, would there be any reason left to still hold the ERC20? So when swapping will start when holo with holo fuel goes into stable beta. Until then, there will be the alpha level hosting and holo fuel to play with. Modeling hot. For quite a while, hot will be on more exchanges than holo fuel precisely because it's an ERC20 standard token format. So there will be people wanting to go in out of holo fuel for the differences in functionality, paying for hosting and liquidity on many exchanges. Many people will keep their hot for a while because they want to keep their liquidity and don't intend to use hosting power. The ability to swap between hot holofuel doesn't really go away. It's just that we're only guaranteeing one-to-one pricing for the first 6-month swap window. Interesting. So they are going to continue with the swap from hot to holofuel after the 6 months. It just may not be a one-to-one price. That's new information. That is such new information, team. Okay, still waiting. Still waiting. I'm waiting. Right, in the meantime, let me show you something in hot that I found really, really exciting. It's on the 8 hour, and it is this baseline that's happening right now. So it's bouncing at the moment to this bottom line, creating these high lows. We did have a really good run out, to be fair. So we had this one here, followed by this one. So low, higher low, higher low, higher low. But then we failed. Okay, which pushes us down a bit. But we're getting back to that magical spring action that we all know. The thing is with a spring, when you let go of that spring, you have no idea where it's going to go. And this is the same thing that's happening now. So you've got your first coil, followed by your second coil. And then now we've got this real tightening of the coil. So we predicted the 12th. So we're going to see some more action until the 12th. And I'm hoping it's going to go the way that we think it's going to go. This behavior fits perfectly to the end of any kind of triangle. You see how it's doing something now? It's building up pressure. We've got a lot in relation to Bitcoin to answer to, sadly. So if Bitcoin does decide to break down and go to the coin skid price of 25 grand, the thing is, right, he's good at what he does. Just coin skid, a cat, knock him. But the problem is now, for quite some time, he has been talking about this 25,000 Bitcoin price. So he's always going to be right if Bitcoin goes to 25,000. People will think he's a messiah. But what we have been doing is we have been looking at the micro times. So the last discussion that we had was when Bitcoin was down the bottom. We did some technical analysis and I said we're probably going to go up to that 35,000 mark because there was an inverse head and shoulder that happened. So we did the TA and we got it perfectly right. Okay, it's easy to have in your head and say, all right, I predict based on this analysis that Bitcoin is going to 25k. I could do that and just tell you that every single day. All right, what's good about that? There is nothing good about it. So what we tend to do here is we look at the Wyckoff A, we look at Wyckoff B. I'm still sticking with Wyckoff B. Wyckoff A, sorry. Wissam K thinks that it's the new Wyckoff that we've been looking at. It's okay to have this failed last kiss. Because is this the final standoff? Is this the whales just going, well, everybody knows they're in a Wyckoff now, so we need to start spicing it up a little bit and manipulating the market a bit more. They know they've got some room before we get this old support line. All right, if we do bust below that support line, yes, I'm going to be worried. I'm going to be extremely worried. But have we been here before? Yes, and it was back in 2013 where nothing happened for about 3 months. So, although you feel like your portfolio is either staying the same, not moving, or slightly going down, look, I have got a shed load of money still invested in crypto. Do you really think, having 2 children, that I would just leave it in there and take it down to the bottom of the bear market? No. No, I wouldn't. Not in a million years. Fred, Johnny, do you still think you will see hot at 20 cent by end of the year and some after today? I think it'll go a lot higher than 20 cent now. I mean, not just hot, but holofuel. You know, where does that take us? So if beta was to happen in October, November, December, January, February, right? So April 2022 is when the 1-to-1 finishes. Russell Zoom, you're the man, Johnny. No, Russell, you're the man. And I was saying, just huddle. If we hit something crazy, Johnny will change tune and huddle. You know this. Yes, this is true. Negative earnover after the pump. Johnny will sell and buy again cheaper. You know this. Only at bear market. Correct. Johnny, could MFI help for short-term predictions? Probs. But whilst it's in a manipulation, any kind of short-term predictions, you're pretty much taking a punt. You really are. We have the, like I said, we have the Wyckoff. That's all we can go against at the moment. Van Lesway, if that's true, I can pay off my house and buy another one for fun. Yes. Legend. Right, resetting the AMA. Right, apps and sites built on Holochain will be less vulnerable to cyber attacks. Are they, however, in less significant form, still vulnerable? How does this compare to centralized apps and sites? Centralized apps with their associated centralized data are honeypots for hackers. You can grab user information for billions, millions, hundreds of thousands of users in a single attack. On a peer-to-peer system like Holochain, which has proper membranes, meaning app networks are completely separate, and source chains can have private entries, not even shared to the DHT for the app. You have a rich variety of privacy configurations, and the only way to get all the data is to compromise every machine. Holochain apps are WebAssembly, which is strongly sandboxed. It really doesn't open any attack vector via Holochain to get all those machines. So there's no uniform approach to attack the machines. Interesting. Right. Is there any more? It's difficult that they don't have the highlighted one for some of them. I remember there being something said about max amount of ports any one person is allowed to provide for users to utilize while benefiting from the holo fuel associated with doing so. Any final decision on what the number will be? And the reply is, I've heard 5 mentioned a lot over the years. Not sure where this has landed. So, I mean, 5 holopots is still freaking good if you're getting 10,000 holo fuel at this moment in time per holoport, 50,000 holo fuel per month. It's not a bad take-in, if I'm honest. Bruce, see you. Johnny will take all his profits and invest fully in Shiba and Doge.
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
What?
Bruh.
What?
Bruh.
What?
Bruh.
TJ's off to walk the dog. Thanks, Johnny. I will sleep better now. Woohoo! Surely so many companies will jump onto this. Well, we've got Holo Sale, haven't we? This just makes it more exciting for us. We've got our live chat on the 17th of July at 8 p.m. We'll probably have them for around 15 minutes. I've sent them some set questions for them to answer. But hey, this is going to be the first time that we've actually got a company that is going to be using the Holochain for their business. It's freaking huge. It's freaking huge, team. So 17th of July, we are going live with a member from the Holo Technologies Inc. And I am so freaking excited. And over on that chart, I think the first big rise is the Security Audit Network going live. Show the chart. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I'll bring up the roadmap in a second. George, I think Johnny secretly loves Shiba. Do you know what? Shiba has a place. As crazy as it sounds, I think Shiba has a place. Big Black Crypto likes Shiba, so naturally, being a supporter of Big Black Crypto, I've got to support Shiba, right? I've just got to keep looking at it because that guy is a freaking legend. And yeah, I keep looking at Shiba. Dogecoin just upsets me, like on a monumental scale. El Toro going on. Shibo, Johnny, respects for you that you are still doing this. I don't think I'll ever stop doing this. It is so much fun. It's just like chatting to your mates every night. First thing I hear coming from the stream, bruh. And over huge. And over, guys, watch this. What a great chat that will be. Really looking forward to it, Johnny from Fred. Yes, me too. George, sorry, what company is using Holo? I was putting the little one to bed. Holo Sale Technologies, who we are interviewing live on the 17th of July at 8 p.m. George. Twitter is a goldmine if you search tweets. Okay. Nova, you wanted me to bring that chart up, right? Let me bring the chart up then. I'll send it to my email address so that it's easier for us all to see it. Whilst we're still waiting for some more questions to be answered. Look at this, this is like ultimate multitasking. Seriously. You can't believe, like, in this room, I'm still a freaking one-man band. I was shocking at it to start with. Do you know what has saved my life, to be fair, is the Stream Deck. If you guys are streaming, you have to get yourself a freaking Stream Deck. That thing is absolutely incredible. I don't ever touch Streamlabs OBS anymore. I just have all of the gadgets that I need on my Stream Deck, and it's freaking amazing. It is so cool. Right, save photo, saved, email. Email to Johnny Stang. Send. Email has been sent. Open up my emails. Save picture. Right. So one thing that you've got to bear in mind is the people that we actually have. The people that we actually have on the Holotube. You've got Air Nova. I mean, what an absolute legend Air Nova is. The amount of research he does. He is now, I think, number 2 on Lunar Crush. I really need to sort out this folder, don't I? Okay, let me just see if I can... Where did I save that? I don't even know where I frickin' saved it to. Save picture. Documents. Air Nova. Save. There we go. We found it. Yeah, so if you're not following Air Nova on Twitter, please go and follow him. The amount of work that he does. I mean, he's a top influencer, is Air Nova. Literally freaking... I'm ranked 23rd in terms of the influencer number, and he's number 2. So great person to keep up with. So we was chatting today, was me and Air Nova, and he sent this. The little blue dot, which is this here, represents potentially where we was. So March, April, May, June, July. So the prediction is not a lot happening. May, June, July, August, September could be the rise to the upside based on this chart. And then do you know what, right? It does add up. Now what we've kind of learned about beta, the fact it's going to happen the next few months. So May, June, July, August, September starts to be a bit of excitement happening in the crypto space about beta. October, would that be beta released? November, and then we get total, could that be total adoption into beta? It's definitely a good chart for us to keep our eyes on over the next year. You know, we're not going anywhere. The Holotube is here to stay, and we're going to live. We're going to live through this, team. We will live through it. It's going to be some scary, scary moments. So this is a pretty amazing representation of what actually could happen. And it's just a case of us zooming out. Nova, it's coming, but so is Beta. Nova, are you Turkish by any chance? No. He has the most Canadian accent ever. Like, he's like, what's going on, man? What's going on? Bro, we need to catch up soon. I love that freaking accent. It's so awesome. Okay, so I will stick that onto the Holotube for you all to have a look at. Right, I'm just looking for some more answers. Some more answers to the question. So the elemental chat, we got that one. I've been following Holochain for a while now, and the tech behind the project is fairly complex. For a crypto veteran, how do you expect user experience to be once the project is fully rolled out? Do you see yourself as a competitor against Amazon Web Services? For web users, end users should be slick. Holo is designed to make a decentralized system easy. Do you see the appeal of self-owned identities and the potential for decentralized and fair democratic elections and governments? Oh, that one is deep. Somebody's got some intelligence there. Have you guys been in contact with Elon Musk? Not yet, but Holochain is perfect for Tesla cars and SpaceX, right? As well as green distributed applications. Think he'll be very excited when he plays with the Holochain app. We're invested in it, team. We're freaking invested in it, right? Do you not see how massive this is? And what us crazy motherfrickers have been preaching for so long. And we've gone from 400 people in the live chat to 15 because of price. Because of freaking price. Like, seriously, whilst the price is low, not financial advice, freaking fill your bags up, team, because we are probably the only cryptocurrency that is becoming a crypto accounting that is going to moon bigger than all of the blockchains. Seriously? I just cannot freaking take the fact that day in and day out, we have the same freaking conversations, and all that happens is, Holo going to zero. Yeah, if it goes to zero, I will buy 500 billion of them. There is nothing negative about the price going down, apart from it messes with your head. That is it. If you're investing with money that you can comfortably afford to lose, fill those freaking bags up, team. Right. Answer from Disco Dip. First of all, thank you so much for organizing this AMA. It's really great that we can ask our questions here. I have two simple questions. Will we see do you want to allow cookies screen on the HoloWeb, or will you be finally relieved from that? Let's say if something like Netflix would use Holochain, would that fix their issues with people sharing their accounts? Well, Holochain doesn't inherently rely on any cookies, although UI devs might come up with reasons for some. However, when you're running the app on localhost on Holochain, I don't think you get prompted for cookie permissions on localhost. But if you're talking about hosted app, some UIs may want to save some cookies or something, although I think most should just use local data store. So I don't think you'll need cookies for much, so no prompting for permission to save them. However, note that in a Holo hosted version, you have to log in every time newly because there is no place to save your private keys. I was just going to say that, which is safe from malware. So we have to regenerate them from your email and password login credentials. Windy Pops. We recommend using a password manager with autofill to make this single click issue. Netflix, it's hard for me to imagine Netflix using Holochain, but generally speaking, it would be bad for people to share their account private keys on Holochain because there's no way to prevent chain forking. More than one person taking the account before someone else has synced their action, which will make it look like you're not trustworthy user node and doing shady stuff, which in turn means you will probably get shut down. Excuse me, I know, but what did you say? I can just imagine him saying that as well. Exactly, man. 2 holos, each pocket. One in my fanny pack. Apps and sites built on Holochain will be less vulnerable to cyber attacks. Have we been through that one? Yes, we have. We've been through that one. Okay, some of them are just general answers. There's no point answering them. How to swap hot to Holo fuel? Any gas fees to swap it? How far can we reach the final project? Can it happen this year? The community are important to you. Can you compare Holochain with Cardano, E2.0 and Elrond? How far Holochain can be better than them? Swap, keep tuned for news. Difference between other blockchains. Holochain is optimized for real world apps. Best Arthur, do you know that all holders will be billionaires? Stupid question, but maybe you can laugh. Whaleswood. I'd like to compliment all Holo devs and good luck with finishing towards beta. I'd like to ask the following question. Holochain is a platform technique that enables Holo to perform as a hosted provider. Airbnb like for hosting. Hosting on Holo is charged in Holo fuel. Is it possible for future app builder services possible to use Holochain platform without using the Holo hosting? So in fact, they would avoid any payments in Holo fuel. Are all future app builder services obliged to use the Holo hosting platform storage? You can just use Holochain. Yeah, we know that. Yes, I mean, yeah, we know that. You don't technically have to use... You don't... I just saw Enova's comment. You don't technically have to use Holo fuel. You can build it. You can build a app and give it out for free if you wish. I think it's just to share the bandwidth throughout, so they don't need to have servers and power, so on and so forth. Cheaper, cleaner, easier, because Holo will be better way. Buzzstarch, what's Windy Pops? Windy pops is when you're talking, and all of a sudden a bit of air comes up through your esophagus and stops you from talking. Makes you want to burp, but you don't burp, you stop and you just let it go at a low consistency. And then it's called a windy pop because it just pops out. It's a windy pop. And over, hey, Johnny Stan, frick off. Honestly, though, these answers are deadly. They really are deadly. Okay, I'm just going to refresh. I can't believe the live chat is still going on. I've been running it for God knows how long. I forgot to close it because I was just too excited. And I was watching Tomorrow's War. Have you seen it on Amazon Prime? If you haven't seen Tomorrow's War, team, freaking watch it. It's amazing. Whoops. Rather have windy pops from the upside than down there. Yes, sir. Right. Do you see the appeal of cell-phone identities and the potential for decentralized and fair democratic elections and governments? We are building some basic identity building blocks on Holochain exactly because we support self-owned data and self-managed identity. Deep key management, so you can revoke, replace your keys, e.g. your phone number is stolen, compatible with web DIDs. Personas and profiles, all of your personal data, name, phone, address, email, avatar, etc. for different user contexts, all under your control, where you can edit it one place. You get married and hyphenate your last name, comparable with OAuth, so you can be your own OAuth provider. Interesting. Variable claims, what other people say about you, confirming your name, relationship, identity, like driver's license or passport, as assertions signed by the state. Elections, yes. I'm helping a group try to put together a parallel auditable election process which preserves voter anonymity. Yeah, you know what that means. Cast your votes via the folks outside with tablets, the government polling place to hold the existing election process to account for any discrepancies. And then maybe as a later phase, have this become the official election process via public pressure. Cool. Will there be another batch for Holoports in the near future? A small batch, I believe. Larger batch, not sure. We haven't decided yet as far as I know. Are you planning on implementing something new? What are you imagining? That's a great answer. When do you expect Holoports to get mass produced and sold? Great question. Expecting demand for hosts to grow as we move to beta and beyond. Can't wait to see how the device ecosystem expands. We're all going to get our freaking Holoports, team. Can you tell us something about holodecks? P2P exchange in design phase, will be released updates in due course. When will you do an interview with the legend Johnny Stang? Oh my gosh. That's absolutely hilarious. They haven't responded. They haven't responded. Even John Dongs, isn't that the beer truck guy? He's an absolute legend. I'd like to see an interview also. No way. Isn't that the freaking beer truck guy? Okay. What makes Holochain unique compared to other similar projects? What do you do better than others? Other distributed ledger technology, DLTs. What is coming next for Holochain? A lot of very, very cool apps and a thriving ecosystem. What can we expect from the Holochain in the future? Amazing apps. Been through these. Is it possible to hold a web page or simple file dump on Holohost, like a centralized system on Holochain? Yeah, will be. When can we install Holohost software on computer without need of buying a Holoport? In the future when VM is out. Interesting. So focus on Holofuel. As Holofuel gets adopted though, and the world wakes up and begins to adopt, and apps and Holofuel in ways people use ETH or USD today, we expect to see Holofuel widely available in all sorts of places. I mean, I think the dude has basically just said OS will come sooner than later if they aren't going to release a lot more ports. Obviously, I mean, the fact of using OS is so much cheaper right now for Holo. I mean, can you imagine how much money they have? Apart from investment money, they probably don't have the capacity right now to mass produce Holoports. Makes sense. So they're pushing out OS versions. They're pushing out OS versions because people have decent computers these days that are pretty cheap that will run the Holochain software quite easily. So it's a great starting point. And then if you want to upgrade from your desktop PC or whatever PC you've got, your Mac, across to a Holoport, that makes more sense. But yeah, eventually I can see a Holoport in every single household. Why not? Why not? As it becomes mass adopted. Is there any ongoing project for the metaverse or a NFT marketplace on Holochain? A few people building, yes. The arts answer above on Holochain versus blockchain. That one will be interesting. When do you expect HOT to be on exchanges in the USA? What is the progress looking like with the SEC? Will Holochain partner with Alliance Blog? Already partnered 3 years ago. I hope you can get DocuSign on board. Is that possible? Yeah, we know that. Decentralized version of DocuSign will be easy to create and simple to run the Holotrain. We even thought about building it ourselves just to show how easy it can be done. But then we thought a better idea would be to put it out there to our developer community since there's a real opportunity here. If you've been wanting a tech business idea or a proven concept with a large addressable market and multiple advantages over the competition, now you have one. This one's mega. How do you see the growth of Holochain within 5 years? Holochain, we are bullish. Holo hosting, we are bullish. Holofuel, we are bullish. Excited to bring this level of innovation to you all. Sweet Jesus of Nazareth. Hi, could future apps like Elemental Chat also run as Holochain apps on servers outside the Holo hosting platform, so without paying Holofuel for hosting apps? Yes, chat could be run in pure Holochain networks, and in future alternative hosts on Holochain can operate When I have Holo on Binance, the only option for withdrawal is the ETH blockchain. How do I get them to Holochain? What with exchanges do allow to withdraw to Holochain? No standard for accounting units, currencies, coins on Holochain yet. Holofuel will be first. Wait for beta. Wait for Holofuel and the emergence of currency standards on Holochain. Please take your time, make sure all works 100% professional pro and create the best chain ever for this world. Holochain will evaporate all chains in all options, facets, inevitable. Thank you, Maleficent Smell. What a name. Do you think there could be any watershed moments with centralized infrastructure like Facebook, Google, Twitter that really wakes people up the idea that decentralization is not only superior, but highly necessary? Perhaps a major breach of trust or something of the sort. I think decentralization is inevitable, but the inertia for the general user is quite large. Twitter have been saying for ages the ideal architecture is decentralized. Can you imagine if Twitter went to freaking Holochain? That would boost the price up like monumental scale, team. When people point to apps, they are part of everyday life that can be decentralized. The design pattern they describe is often closer to Holochain than blockchain. Cheers for becoming a member, Phil Young. Phil Young has been a member for 2 months. Congratulations. When Moon, when Lambo. Right. That's answered quite a lot of those questions. I'll just have another refresh and we'll have a look, see what's going on with the chart whilst that refreshes. So still not a lot happening. So, I mean, this information is obviously going to be stuck there. Yeah, Vanaleswa, your membership logo has now updated from a chain to a holo, which is pretty freaking cool. Right. What's going on in the chat? Oh, that's what. Hey, that was my tip. It was a good film. Good film. Amazing movie. The Tomorrow War. And over, I so read between the lines. Sunny Setter, I'm glad Art Brock stated this. Beta release for Holo and Holochain are different. These ports will become rare as frick passive income. Unless we're... And over, tweet you in decentralized space, but could they still censor us? Because if so, no thank you. Sunny Setter, who is Ducati? Ducati is David Atkinson, the commercial director. Well, team, I think that was really, really exciting. I don't think there's any new stuff on here that we haven't answered. I think we've covered everything. I can't believe that's taken us an hour and a half to get through, which is just freaking crazy. Yeah, I think that covers all of those questions. There are 151 questions there, which is amazing, really. And we've gone through the majority of them. Some of them that are just quite simply answered, which we don't need to go through. So we'll see if there's any more that's going to be updated, but I doubt it. How long they're going to stay on here answering these questions, I don't know. So actually was better than I thought it was going to be. I was looking at it going, how are they going to do these written answers? But it actually worked really, really well, to be fair. Great to have it on the live as well to go through it. That was a Nova suggestion, you absolute legend. So well done, buddy. Okay, so to finish off then.
Bruh.
Looking at the stochastic, so stochastic is right at the bottom now on the 8 hour. On the weekly, it is still sitting, gosh, even lower than before. I think it might actually have gone into the minus now on the weekly. We'll have a look. Yeah, minus 5.1, which is extremely bullish. So in the long term, we can see a rise to the upside. Look what happened with the last one when we got that rise, and this was right up here. So sky's the limit. The bull market still isn't finished with. We've got all of this to go back up to, and the volume on a weekly time frame is massive. So this is just set up. If you look at Bitcoin on the weekly, we are fully set up as well. It is 0.61. So still, everything is at 0 on the stochastic, which nobody else is talking about. I'm still going with the normal Wyckoff, if I'm honest. On the 8 hour, we do have that failed last kiss, but we're having this steady sideways motion. It's just a case of chilling out. But even on the 8 hour, which I was worried at the fact that it was quite high on the stochastic, it has come down again. So we might see a rise to the upside, which is what it's trying to do over the 8 hour period. We've got a nice green. Could this be a second green going to the upside? It has come down. It has gone up slightly, and it's just leveled out. But we're seeing maybe a blue crossover on the stochastic. I'll have a look at the MACD right now. So MACD, technically we could be halfway through this downward pressure, hopefully seeing a reversal. Who knows? I think if this reversal happens, it's going to be a huge one. You're going to start seeing more of this kind of action. A lot more greens and reds happening as the bulls come back in. But right now, it's totally invalid on an 8 hour. 15 minutes. Have a look at the 15-minute. Still showing bullish, but not really any volume coming in. Not a lot of volume. So we just sit and wait as we usually do, team. Just chill, wait for that rise to the upside. Hopefully people are going to start reading about this now. Holochain and Hot AMA. Obviously, I'm going to tweet it when I finish. And yeah. Gel the Jongs popped in. I missed the AMA. Important things happen. Nova, nah, just beta dropping in a few months. Oh, nice, can't wait. All right, team, it's 20 to 10. I'm going to disappear. I'll be back on again Sunday. So tomorrow, I'm with my son, so I might pop in for like 10-15 minutes. If there's a fair decent number of people in, I'll pop in and say hello and just have any updates, if there's any updates to have, usually around the 8:30 p.m. It's been a great night. And then back on Sunday night, 8:30. So yeah, I'm really excited. I've had so much fun this week with you lot. Great end to the week with this AMA, which turned out to be really good, if I'm honest. So until then, team, I've had the time of my life. I'm going to go before things get too stupid. So what else do I need to say other than that? I think that's it. Let's roll the West Coast band music, and I will, as they say, Foxtrot Oscar. So, until Sunday, team. Peace.
Show me a lesson and I've learned it. Show me a bridge.